podcast has already started off with a lot of tension, a lot of drama.
I could care less at this point. It's just, if we could not on the podcast, that's all I'm asking.
Wait, are we recording now?
We're not saying
I'm not saying it.
But we
I won't say that word that you say you love to say.
So I will give everyone a recap of what has just happened. We started off this podcast discussing what I guess you could call it speech free-ish of some kind.
No.
Or
That's not what happens.
The word of like what some people would find.
We started this podcast discussing the inability for overpaid government workers in this country to do their fucking jobs.
That is true.
And I applied a certain word to their behavior.
Yes.
A word that has connotations over the course of history with people with maybe, physical or mental ailments.
But here's the thing. If someone says don't use that word, it bothers me.
Haven't used it on the podcast.
No, what I'm saying is like individually, right? Like on a massive scale, if you just be like, I'm going to say whatever I want. But if someone's just like, that word hurts my feelings, isn't that okay
that's
to
not
say
what was said. Whoa, relax, Jenny. Let's backpedal a minute. What was asked of me was don't use that word on this podcast, which I haven't done. But not to use it because it hurts my feelings. I don't give a fuck. Like, then move over your feelings. Realize the world doesn't revolve around you. The world is not a safe space.
You're being so mean right now.
No, I'm being very fucking honest. I'm 35 years old. I'm a man. And you're a woman.
I just turned 37 today.
Well, then
it's
act like
literally my birthday.
It's Jen's birthday.
Well, happy fucking birthday. Enjoy the roast. First of all, can we address how you've managed to create an entire podcast where comedians are forced to cook dinner for you?
Nope, they don't have to cook a dinner for us, but I appreciate you putting the effort. That looks like it took a long time.
Nah, I had caterers do it. But
see, you're such a dick.
No, I'm honest. Being a dick is different to being honest. If you can't handle honesty, then
that seems like a blanket excuse to me right now. That just sounds like a blanket excuse for not taking not taking responsibility for your own actions. But no, I'm not an asshole or a bigot. I'm honest. Like, go fuck off.
Okay, so wait, hang on a second. Let's get to that. So how am I bigoted? Let's get into it.
Can we talk about the roast? That's what we came here to do.
This is
we need to talk about
we
the
are
roast.
going to talk about this roast, but it's all part of the bigger conversation, isn't it? I think this is quite an interesting thing to have. The roast was purely the vessel for this comedy that will come out of an interesting debate about free speech and about what constitutes being a bigot. Bigotry is when you are, against a certain demonized or minority group.
Yeah.
I'm not against anyone.
Okay.
I'm against people who tell me that I can't use certain words in the world because it hurts their personal sensitivities. As a comedian, you can't do that. Otherwise, we'd never be able to make jokes about anything.
You're being a person.
Yeah, you're just
being.
No, that's again. Come on,
you're
don't
not on a
dilute
stage.
what we do.
But we're not. We're just
zero
friends
off
hanging
switch.
out.
You have been telling jokes this entire time.
I know. How fucking dare I, a professional comedian appearing on a comedy podcast, turn up and tell fucking jokes? Who do I think I am?
I don't know. I was hoping I would meet a person.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I do
that's
love
not
roast.
rude or offensive, is it? This is the interesting thing. No. You know what? Fuck it. Let's get into this. Here's the deal, right? Here's what really bothers me. I'm a left-wing leaning, democratic. Yes. That's my political outlook. Not that fucking matters. I'm also an advocate for free speech, honesty, direct conversation, because I think the loss of that is what is pushing us further and further apart. Right, left, old, young, black, white, gay, straight. It's literally, how do we separate ourselves? That's what we're being told to do on a daily fucking basis. So for me to use a particular word in a haphazard fashion as applicable to some people who are incapable of doing their jobs that bothers you, and then for you to go, well, you're not even a person. The way you're acting is not a person, which is really more offensive. And it's okay for you to say it because you're coming from a liberal left-wing group. I'm also liberal and left-wing, but you think you can just say shit like that about me and hurt my feelings, and that's okay. But if I hurt your feelings by using a word not even applied to you, that's something you're up in arms about.
Sure.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Okay.
And that's why people on the right wing call everyone in our group a bunch of libtard fucking snowflakes, which is why my podcast called Savage Snowflake. Check it out.
Good plug-in. I would say...
It's infinitely more happy than this podcast.
Awesome. So I would say, and this is
also jokes are allowed on my podcast as well. Comedy is encouraged on that.
Jokes are allowed on this podcast.
What I would say...
Fuck the roast, fuck the podcast, and fuck all of you libtard cucks. You know what? Ben Shapiro was right.
I would say he has been refraining from using the word and, man of his word here.
Because you asked me not to, and I'm not a piece of shit.
But I would say that...
By the way, it wasn't that... we're not talking about the M-bomb here, or...
No, he was not. It was just...
I thought you said the M-bomb.
Yeah, I would never use...
Mayonnaise? How dare you?
Don't say her name.
Oh, that's singular.
But you get what I'm saying? This is why we're demonized as some kind of group that don't allow people to express themselves.
Sure.
And it's true.
If I could interject at a moment, I would say that the fun part about this is nobody heard the discourse prior to the start of this podcast.
Yeah.
That I had mentioned multiple times that I had offense to this word because my sister has Down syndrome. And I don't appreciate the use of that word. And I was making a case for myself because you said that conversations are important and that's what the issue is and that we're not having that conversation. But then you fully disregarded the fact that I take issue with it and then continued to make jokes about it, even though it was visible and clearly still is visible that I take offense to it. And I would rather you not use it at all. But
actually,
we've
you
been
told me you didn't take
probably...
offense to it. You said your father does, and that's why I shouldn't use it, because if he listens, you'd be annoyed. Let's just be very direct and honest with it. That's the thing. Don't turn it into I'm desperately offended.
I take offense to it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you take offense to a word that has no application to you whatsoever and doesn't actually in any way, shape, or form describe your sister's condition, because it doesn't.
Okay.
It means slow of mind. It's a dictionary definition. It means slow of mind. And guess what? People at the IRS and DMV are slow of fucking mind and should do themselves a favor and get themselves neutered.
We can all agree that they are, but it's just that...
It is culturally significant.
Let's just eat the fucking roast.
It's culturally significant, the word, to people with mental disabilities and mental issues.
Well, I mean, again, and I disagree because I have friends with cerebral palsy and Down syndrome who use that word and don't take any offense to it. And they actually think by stopping
10.
other people from using that word, they're actually making it seem like that word, the R word, applies to them, and it doesn't, because that's not what they are. They're mentally disabled or they're physically disabled. That's what they are.
10 years old, so I just...
Well, she probably is a fucking...
You're a monster, Jeff!
And that's irrespective of her Down syndrome. All 10-year-olds are fucking idiots. Let's be real, so...
I mean, yes. That is true.
What's she going to do? Fight me?
So, Jeff, thanks for coming on the podcast and being the sweetheart that I said you were.
Here's the thing. I don't think we should ever pretend to be anything that we're not. And I'm trying more and more and more in life to be very honest and open and thing. I do like having discourse about it. It's interesting. And I also understand, I did also take into account that one of my very good friends has a friend who, a family member, who has a mental disability and for that reason, doesn't use that word because they feel like I don't want to be encouraging the use of a word that I think is used to demonize a certain group.
Yes.
I'm not using
acknowledge it, that it does have those connotations. You acknowledge it has those connotations.
Absolutely. Okay. When we're 10 years old and we're in the playground, you say mean things to each other, it can have that connotation. But if I've got friends who actively do use it and are disabled both physically or mentally.
But they're using it. I don't see how you are given the blank check to be able,
Well, why are you given the blank check to tell people not to? Because you don't suffer from it. That's like you going, don't use this word. It's like you marching up to someone else and going, hey, just because you grew up in a dominant black area and you grew up around people using the N-word, you're not allowed to use it. They'll go, fuck you. All my black friends say it's fine for me to use it.
You do hear yourself on that, right?
100% hear myself. I don't think it's right for anyone to use that word, but that's because it's not part of what I grew up with. There's some people who did grow up with that, and that's what they sling around on their block. And I'm not going to tell them to not say it. I'm going to say, well, if you want to say it and your black friends don't fucking get angry with you for it, that's not my situation. It's not my right to do it. You're not disabled as far as I can tell.
I would say that this is my block.
Opinions, potentially, but you personally are not disabled in any way, shape, or form, right?
I would say that this is my block then.
Your what?
If you're going to make the argument that people say it on their block, I would say this is my fucking block.
I disagree.
Well, you mean like the podcast is the block?
Yeah.
Oh, the podcast is your block.
The podcast is the block.
It's definitely your block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't used it once on the podcast.
No.
Because you told me not to.
No. Are we filming this too?
Swap. Oh yeah, this whole thing's gonna be up here. This is the tension. This is the
absolutely this tension.
I'm
but
so
I also
excited
think
for the hate mail I'm gonna get for what
you're not getting.
Why are you against?
You're not getting
speech.
We
saw what happened when fucking Lindy West said maybe don't do rape jokes, and then she got rape threats. So fun.
No one's
you can't even say like, hey, I'd appreciate if you don't use this kind of language because I find it offensive.
You can say that, and I've adhered to that. I'm not using it.
To a point.
No, on your podcast, I haven't used it once, and I promised I wouldn't.
Soapbox.
Yeah, because it's like, what are we going to do? Pretend like I came in here and I went, hey, how's it going, guys? And we all had a nice chat about roast. Nah, let's talk about real fucking things. That's what it's going to talk about. This symbolizes the utter anger I feel towards this country today.
Well, how does a Sunday roast?
Hey, nice segue.
Make you feel? But how does a Sunday like really though? Sorry. I'm on. Here's my two things. I enjoy both of you as friends very much. And I don't want you guys to clash and have a bad time. And I
don't think any less of you as a person.
I would shake your hand. I want her to see how much I like you. I want you to see how much I like her. And I just don't want there to be
for the record, Jenny. I don't feel any animosity towards it in any way, shape, or form. Why would I? I think we're having a conversation about language.
If you guys,
he didn't come into my face and just start saying it repeatedly. Like he's made some adequate points, but I'm still a little bit I wasn't anticipating this conversation.
If I got up into your face and started screaming a word you hated into your face, then I would be an utter fucking scumbag.
But he didn't, so...
Well, he did it?
He did not.
He did not, yeah.
He did not.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. But I'm like, I would love to have a conversation about language.
I will say that, and I've had this conversation a lot of times with people about that there is... On the left, we do tend to eat ourselves, and there is like a bit of a very like high, like, oh, we can't do this. But also, I understand if someone is just like, hey, don't say that, just be like, oh, okay.
That's incredibly wonderful and woke of you. I'm glad you're so progressive. I'm also a progressive individual who thinks that overt progression results in regression of a society. And that's why I got gay friends who are like, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't even call my gay friends, stop being such a... whatever, or you're being such a queen or such a queer, because then they'll go, hey, you shouldn't call me that. And it's like, motherfucker, I suck dick. Like, I can say what I want about that.
Do you suck dick?
Oh, no, not me personally. I would try, though, like for the right amount of money.
For money?
Gay for pay, fuck yeah. If you put like $100,000 on the table right now.
Blowjob?
That's so boring. You're so
shitty. That's
Jeff.
so shitty.
My toothy blowjob.
Yeah. You haven't sucked a dick before, so this would be your first dick sucking.
Madame, let me educate you something. Every single man in the fucking world would be better at sucking a dick than a woman, because we know how it's meant to be done. Oh, really? Oh, in that case, men are better at playing with clitorises than women are. Oh,
wait, why?
Because we're men, and obviously we know how to stimulate you better than you do.
I'm pretty sure that we have a community and a culture that showcases male sexuality abundantly more than female sexuality, to the point where I didn't even know where the fuck my clit was when I was in high school. So, no, I don't think that either men or females are going to be able to gratify like a woman in the best way that she can herself.
I think a woman will know how to stimulate her own body better than a man will.
I will
in the same way that I know a man will suck a dick better than a woman.
Here's my argument.
Of course.
I could probably finger and touch a woman better.
Sure.
But I cannot eat a woman out better because I've never eaten myself out.
Same.
Have you sucked your own dick?
Have you sucked your own dick?
Have you sucked your
own dick?
I'd be lying if I said that I hadn't tried.
I feel like that's an echo that you
yes,
hear.
I got the tip to the lips at least.
Would you get
I got the tongue on it.
Please.
No yoga, just height. Height and size.
Okay, all right.
How would you suck a dick for this camera if you think that you are such a baller at this shit?
Well, I have no desire to suck a dick, so why would I showcase that?
I know, I'm just curious, the technique.
Well, I'd suck it properly and well, and with love and attention.
What is properly?
No, I just took umbrage to the fact that you said I would give a toothy blowjob. Not that I'm not planning to suck any penises in the near future, but you know what? I think my dick sucking would be pretty good.
I would say you'd probably come in at an advanced level. Okay, you wouldn't be an expert.
Lips. I know how to use a little tongue. My gag reflex is borderline disappeared completely.
Okay, here's the thing about. Here's the thing you gotta know. Everyone is different. Everyone is different. The same way of like sucking off a girl. It's different. All guys are different. I have some guys who like a little bit of teeth dragged on the bottom of it, which is weird.
Listen.
Some guys like it gripped. Some guys like you to do this and that. I'm just saying,
Jenny,
it's like
there's only one way for us truly to rectify this.
To watch you suck your own dick.
Get your dick out. Get your producer, get his dick out, and all three of us are going to suck his dick right now. And he's going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
I would say that oral sex is all about communication. And
you can't talk with your mouth full. That's rude.
No, you're supposed to listen to the moaning. And you're supposed
they
to
just
listen
keep coming out.
to the other person and what feels good for them. And, I haven't heard that you're really good at communication yet.
Sometimes I stop in the middle of it and I just am like, so how is everything? Is everything
how
good
you doing
right
up
now?
there?
Are we good?
You good?
Yeah, don't do that.
Everything's good?
We don't like that. We don't like when you stop sucking the dick to ask us, hey, is this okay?
Can I just more? It's more this, more that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you enjoying it right now?
2-word sentences. Yeah, my dad's not watching this podcast.
No, it's fine. Why would your dad watch this podcast?
Why do you have such a supportive father? How did you end up in comedy if you've got supportive parents like that?
I have 2 dads.
There you go.
Actually 3.
Now was one, and they weren't a couple. This was one was original dad, next one stepdad maybe?
Stepdad, who's 12 years older.
Which one do you like best?
I mean, I know the answer.
No, it's like I just assume gender as well. Look at me. What a fucking cisgender piece of shit I am.
A lot about you. I've been on your podcast. I actually really enjoyed the conversations that we had. Yeah. I think that actually, Jen, I think you should go on his podcast, Savage Snowflake.
I feel like he's just going to start yelling at me.
No.
I would never yell at you. No. I would have a conversation with you. I think it's interesting. And I would like that. I don't, also, this is, I mean, like as a knock on a thing, there's a radio podcast group called Compound Media, which is known for a lot more. It's like the home of free speech, but a lot of their programming is quite overtly conservative or right wing in their sort of outlook, right? Or quite hard line at least. And I go on that regularly to present the other side, but we have conversations about it and we find common ground, and it's ended up being a place where people now like seeing me on there even though they completely disagree with my left-leaning politics. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
And same thing, you obviously come off like you're probably infinitely more left than I am, further left than I am, and a lot more woke, for want of a better phrase. And that's okay. That'd be interesting. Maybe you would educate me on some things. I'd learn some new stuff. Maybe I would change your opinion and soften your opinion to understanding that maybe, you know, there needs to be a little bit of a balance. I don't know. I'm done with politics, I think. I think I'm just... Nah.
How are you? And all of this just started with the IRS.
I know. Do you want to get us... Okay, I feel like you came in here. You were fucking hot. You were ready. I can see, Jeff, you were at level 10. What happened? What did the IRS do to you?
Oh, he was at 12.
I was at 12. Spinal Tap 11.
Yes, I know, but you were a step above.
Oh, really? Above Spinal Tap? I wish.
Yeah.
That's a good scene. This is why I brought a British Sunday roast. No, this is why I brought a British Sunday roast, because it represents, I do not dislike America. I love America, and I love the people of America. I think there's some really interesting, wonderful people in this country.
Oh, we actually haven't even introduced you, Jeff.
I think at this point they've Googled, they know.
Most people have tuned out by now.
No.
They're going, this guy is not our team. It's just so white male and straight. I have a deep love for this country, which is why I'm here, you know, and I think the opportunities that are afforded here are amazing. However, I say this as both an immigrant and also a man who loves being a tax-paying member of America. America fucking hates its own people. When it comes to the governance and the bureaucratic red tape, nothing works, man. Nothing fucking works. DMV, IRS, government, like they sent my green card to the wrong address 3 fucking times. Took me a year to get my green card. The IRS, terrifying. I phoned up to pay the money today. I was like, hey, I owe you some money and I want to know how much I owe. I can't log into the online account because you have an old address on account. Could you send the code to the new address? Can we update that? Oh yeah, that'll take 3 or 4 weeks. And you could send a check, or you can fill out a form and post it to us. I'm like, I'm on the phone with you, you fucking cunt. Like, how can you not just update it right now? By the way, before you get upset about the word cunt.
I'm fine.
See, that's surprising to me, but I'm glad, because it is a feminist construct, that word. Facts.
What, cunt?
Yeah, the etymology of the word, it comes from the Latin cunus, that means
womb.
Your vulva. Well, it actually means vulva in translation, which means it's part of your reproductive organ, belongs to you, it's yours. It's your vulva.
I love the word cunt. But I think we should use it more.
Good. It's lovely, it's visceral, it tastes amazing, it sounds good.
Fantastic.
And vagina that, third wave feminists would probably prefer comes from the Latin vagina, which means a sheath for a penis or a scabbard to go inside of. So actually, if you've got a vagina, you're incomplete without a man inside of you. Whereas if you've got a cunt, perfectly fine on your own.
Yeah.
It's a feminist construct. But it's just demonized by men using it as an aggressive terminology. If we were walking around going, "You are such a beautiful cunt," then that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, also, I do enjoy how, like, in England, they use it much more as, like, it's much more like, ugh.
And actually, as a wonderful bringing round to our original debate / first argument, it's all right. The makeup sex is going to be average, I think. I'm not sure. There's going to be a lot of teeth involved. I'm going to have to
walk away without labia.
I'm going to have to stop every minute to ask if I'm doing it right, apparently.
You are not.
Jeff's going to be sucking his own dick in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be like, that's what you do. That's what you do.
This would be our sex. This would be our sex life. If for 1 minute you gave up on your married life and decided to have some kind of play away from home scenario, it'd be me sitting in the corner of the room sucking my own dick. And it would be you just in the corner, just checking in with your own vagina every now and then. Like, is this okay? Am I doing this? Is this all right? Phoning up friends. What a depressing fucking image that would be.
No, I'd make a survey.
But you know what? It'd be funny and also kind of sexy. There'll be a market for it in Japan, at least.
Yes, definitely.
They'll fucking jack off to anything, won't they?
Look, I've thought about being a webcam girl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Real talk?
Yeah.
Or are you just being amusing now? You had a thing.
Real talk, where I've thought about not like full naked stuff, but just like talking to people.
Oh,
like
so
being
a Twitch streamer.
Pretty much.
Well, unless you're getting some kind of, nudity on screen, then I don't think...
some people just want to talk to someone. Someone just want to talk. Some guys just like want
Oh, you want to do a therapy degree?
I would just be like...
But
Hi,
pants are optional.
Up? I'm your Italian sub girl. Hey.
If you want to actually just talk to people for hours, if you want to talk to people for hours at a time and actually offer them no kind of pleasure whatsoever, you could work for the IRS, because that's what I did today.
And I would get paid for it.
I spent 2 hours on the phone with 3 morons today. 3. Ugh. Who handed me from one to the other, telling me they would be able to sort out my problems. Anyway, fuck that.
It's like sounds like its own special line of dominatrix where it's just nobody feels good at the end.
But this is why I've made you a little Sunday roast.
Oh, is that a profiterole on top?
No, that's a Yorkshire pudding. We've got Yorkshire pudding. We've got some roast tatties here. We've got some lovely glazed carrots, which are in garlic and orange peel. And then we've got some roast beef in here, which has been seasoned on the outside. It's very nice. And that was because I couldn't get to the store to buy the stuffed peppers I wanted to get, which reminds me of Romania and home, because my mum is... That's a very loud motorcycle. Yep.
That's a segue for the food section.
Is that any time? Yeah, as soon as you introduce the food, it's like...
Here it
Delivery!
It's a really bad Tim Allen impression outside.
This is sponsored by Uber Eats. Yeah, that's because I'm on days like today, when not the American people, not the American countryside, but the American system has let me down in such a catastrophic way. I do miss being British sometimes, because things run a little smoother in England.
Do you miss home a lot?
I miss free healthcare. I miss people, generally being able to answer your questions on the phone if they, speak the same language as you. I found myself, this is how frustrated I got today. I found myself at the end of 2 hours so exasperated, I was desperate to ask, can I be connected to an Indian call center? That's, it's got bad when you want to talk to Pravesh, you know what I mean? And I'm like, let's just hook me up with someone who is reading off a script, because I think they're going to be way more intelligent and educated than these fucking idiots.
No, it's the worst. I think I owe California a lot of money as a business.
Right.
Because they keep being like, you owe money, but then never telling me what. And then I call and then it doesn't happen and I can't connect. And I'm just like, well, I've been calling for hours and hours and hours and nothing's happened.
I got put on hold for an hour and 15 minutes once, and then they answered the call, and then someone pressed the wrong button. They hung up the call immediately. And I threw some stuff against the wall. I was so fucking livid. But they go, what's the more American than that? That's me becoming an American, being so
You're a Texan now.
Angry with the system. And Greer Barnes,
happily pay your taxes.
as I desperately try
Who is
to.
happily doing that?
But you should be careful, because that LLC, they're charging you. I'm
an S corp.
6%.
Oh, I thought you said escort.
I'm an escort.
You're an escort.
I am an escort.
So you skipped camgirling and went straight to giving teethy blue jobs.
Blue jobs. There's another thing I want to do. Is like really needs I just want to take like fun photos of like just hone in on a market. Just take like photos of like, oh, do you want a picture of my feet going inside of a shoe? Give me $25. Like, I don't give a fuck, whatever.
That's so tame. In the shoe?
And you have got wonderful feet, haven't you?
I've got such cute feet.
Very well pedicured, always very soft. She used coconut oil.
They're not well pedicured right now. I was going to go today to get one.
I'm trying to get you business here.
They're always well pedicured. They look so good.
You just were like a major fan.
I get those wax paraffin shit. Like what? I'll live stream my pedicure for you for $100, and you get to see it, and then I'll just be like, oh my god, this feels so good.
You think
people are weird and are into it?
You're making jokes, but there are people who would pay.
I'm not making jokes. I want to do that. Don't you understand?
Well, then do it.
Oh my gosh, the comments for this video alone. Just
what?
The comments for this video alone. Like,
have you got a Patreon for this yet?
No, I'll set one up.
Oh, well, there you go. Set one up and just go. If you become a $20 a month subscriber to the podcast, then you get a picture of Jenny's little tootsies. Jenny's tootsies in a pair of heels or a pair of flip flops, or just standing in some chocolate pudding, whatever you want.
I can put them on like someone's balls.
You know what
I'll
you should do?
I'll just take like someone's balls and put them on.
Ladies, you're missing a trick here. Have you heard of mukbangs?
I don't know what it is.
It sounds way more sexual than it is.
It sounds gross.
A mukbang is when a streamer, a YouTuber, an influencer, someone who presents digital content online, will sit down with a huge plate of food and just eats it.
And they do it loudly.
Yeah, South Korea is, Korea in general, but South Korea obviously because they're allowed to have the internet and TV. It's a huge thing. It's very cultural to watch each other eating food and to share that mealtime together. It's a big thing. And it became almost pseudo-sexual to watch other people. Some people get off on it. Some people really get the enjoyment out of watching people eat. Yeah. And that's crossed the pond now to the US.
No. You don't think I've already thought about that?
Is that what we're doing?
Man, someone can watch me eat.
Like, you should get the mukbang audience watching this because...
Well, this is it's Jen's birthday, so we're all going to have some treats later.
I can't believe I ruined your birthday so badly with our initial argument.
It's okay. That makeup sex is going to be sad.
Oh my god, I can't. I'm gonna film it.
I like that.
All words are safe words.
It's not even cheating either because we're just going to be opposite ends of the room.
There's going to be a room divider and just a peephole that no one looks through.
I'll just go back and be like, okay, so he's doing this thing now. With his hand, okay.
I feel like it's going to get in the way of my fantasy.
So, Jeff, what she's doing right now is she's doing a little lock and load action.
What, a petition? There's going to be a petition between us.
Are you this guy or are you that guy?
What, to jerk off?
Yeah.
Who? I've never met anyone in the world who jerks off with the inverted hand.
Yes, there is that guy. You don't know about dicks. There is that guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Why? So he can throw it at the end? What's the fucking purpose of that?
I don't know. I think maybe it feels more like it's someone else's hand. It's like that.
Yeah. Okay, well, I've never seen that before. Wow.
Yeah, that is
not that I've watched a huge amount of men jerking themselves off, but I mean...
You are not missing out.
Hey, I used to DJ at queer clubs. It was fun.
I used to DJ.
You used to DJ?
Too.
Really?
That's just me. That's a masturbation joke.
Ah, okay.
DJing.
Is that what you call it?
Tell us about this fucking recipe.
I'm going to spin some records.
Did you make this Yorkshire pudding?
No. So I had I run a comedy event as well in the Hollywood Hills called Chomp and Chuckle, where people get served a 3-course dinner and then they get to watch amazing comedians like Jenny come on and entertain them in the privacy of this beautiful Hollywood Hills swanky home.
Oh yeah, the home was great. There was a very cute cat there.
Yeah, beautiful. You saw the Persian.
Nice.
You saw the Persian.
I love the Persian.
That's your takeaway.
It was a cute
cats were
great. It was really fun. It was fun. It's sometimes those daytime shows you can be like, oh, what's going to happen? But everyone was super into it. It was very fun. It was a very we're eating good food. We're having a good time. And then we got to laugh and, it was nice. I do a lot of jokes where I make fun of people in LA and they were very receptive to making fun of people in LA.
Yeah, mostly my friends. So they were just nice people.
Yeah.
Good people. Obviously need to balance out. Don't roll your eyes.
I'm not even rolling. I'm
no, you're doing that.
Smiling.
You're doing that. You're doing that patronising smirk to say, nice people, your friends.
I have no poker face. This video is going to be terrible.
As soon as I saw that fringe, I knew that we weren't going to get along. I was like, look at those bangs. She writes a blog. I can tell.
Nope.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
I just don't like to show my wrinkles.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. That's a good reason.
Oh, I'm getting Botox. I already looked into it.
I could probably do with bangs, actually, because I've got a 6 head. I don't even have a 4 head. I got a very large forehead. And
you do have a large forehead.
Yeah.
But do you really want bangs?
I mean, no one really wants bangs, do they? No one really wants bangs. Like, it's a choice. The girls often make it. They go in waves. I've seen for like they'll do it for a couple of years and then go, oh my god, I'm growing them out. I'm growing them out. Then they grow them out, and then after a year of having nice hair that comes longer, then they go like, you know what, I need something different. Like maybe a breakup, or maybe
it's always a breakup.
Got rid of an old friend or something like that, and they go, you know what, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna get my bangs back.
I don't know. See, Jen being married, she's not gonna enjoy the pleasure of every 6 months having to chop all your hair off.
Depends how bad the marriage is. You never know. You never know.
Pretty amazing.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's really good.
Like the fucking best.
Yeah.
How does he like his dick sucked?
Yeah, you're just going full circle on this shit.
Yeah. What tips is he? Is he the one who does the inverted hand to jerk off?
Nope. He's not the guy. I mean, there's other guys. Some dicks are just weird like that rectangular.
I heard he has to use both hands, right? Hey, digging up your husband. What? All right, go fuck yourself. I was trying to be nice.
See him walking into the room and going, is he talking about my dick?
Is talking about
Is it my penis? I said no penis talk about
He would say penis. He would. He wouldn't say dick. He would say, were you guys talking about my penis?
Are you talking about my penis?
What does your lovely husband do?
He is a writer and director.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Eat your roast.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to eat the
eat
food.
your roast.
Yeah, we're supposed to eat it now.
I thought you were eating it. I thought I brought it so you guys
we're
can
all
taste
eating it, so you got to open it. So
all right, well then you ladies go first. Despite what you think, my mum brought me up with manners. So there you go. You have some food first. But it's not hot. I wanted to heat it up.
I would not eye roll about.
No, we're eating a cold.
Oh, is there a microwave? Do you want to heat it up? Or do you want to eat it? It's nice cold as well.
I like a good cold roast. Let's do a cold roast.
Look, can you smell that? Smell that shit.
Yep, I smell it. It's in my face. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a roast should be.
I think what would have been hilarious if you. Oh, here you go. I've already got one. Thank you. It'd be funny if if one of you was a vegan and lactose intolerant and you could never eat any of the stuff.
She's lactose intolerant.
Yeah, but I eat it anyways.
You eat it anyways because sometimes it's fun to spend the whole morning on the toilet.
Yeah. All right. So we had to pause. We're gonna pause.
Me time.
We're pausing now to eat because people don't like food noises.
This is the bit. No, this is where you get the ASMR fans and the mukbang. Look, here you go. I'll show you how you do it.
Podcast.
Nah. Keep the podcast rolling. Here we go.
Ugh,
put a little bit in for it.
Don't you do it.
This is ASMR in 2019. You ready?
Oh my god!
Everybody does.
I hate this.
Everybody does this self-speaking.
I hate AMSR so much.
It's like a fucking coyote over here.
He sounds like
This is not how I normally eat. I don't chew with my mouth open, but I'm doing it for the mukbang.
And you're growling too.
You're like some fucking Miyazaki character over here.
Oh, that's pretty tasty actually though, isn't it? Isn't that shit good? Try a little bit of this meat. Get in there. Here you go.
I don't like you asking us to eat
A
bit of this meat in your throat, that'll shut you up. Come on. Get a little bit of this fucking meat down that throat of yours. Oh, yeah, is that salty enough for you? Good source of protein.
the chicken a little more than the beef.
Are you serious? Have you ever tried it? Try that beef.
Okay, also the Yorkshire pudding is made with duck fat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's so good.
I can't. These are forks.
Just pick the whole bit up and eat it. Come on.
Nice. Just get it.
Look, I'll show you how it's done. You get a nice big bit like that. And then you just stick it in your face.
Well, there goes that gag reflex. You weren't kidding.
I told you.
Can't suck dick better than
maybe.
else.
You could just raw dog some beef.
Come here.
Oh, God, it's so good.
I got a little taste.
I haven't eaten all day, actually. This is really fucking... I like how Jenny ate the small manageable part and left you with the giant part.
The one that's like...
Pick it up, get in there, just take a bite.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I have a knife.
Some of the Yorkshire pudding. I love Yorkshire pudding.
Well, the Yorkshire's a better hot, probably.
Okay,
but the meat, you've got to try a bit of meat. Come on.
The beef is great. It's a
Jen, why won't you eat my meat? I thought we're friends now. We cleared the air. We did what needed to be done. We talked. We worked it out.
I still have Yorkshire pudding in my mouth. Okay?
That's my
still have
favorite
Yorkshire pudding.
Well, see, now I worry for your husband. If that's all you can fit in there at one time.
Yorkshire
Jeez,
no, I'm trying to get the full balance of the flavor.
Jen's very good at balancing
I retract
flavor.
my statement. Oh, God, that's good, isn't it?
It is really good. It has the gravy on it. Is really nice.
I just don't want to eat all of this.
You don't have to eat, but pick it up. I'm not going to be upset about you using your hands. Just get up and just bite. Just take a bite out of it.
I got it. This is a.
What do you think? How's that?
Her eyes went a little bulgy.
There you go. Little nice little seasoning. It's cooked right. Also, by the way, very upsetting to me that even for a country that produces so much beef, how much meat is overcooked in this country?
Oh, even the president is like all well done and shit.
It's upsetting.
It's disappointing.
It's upsetting. Medium rare, or actually, I like it blue.
Medium.
I like blue.
Oh shit, you're the blue
Blue
guy?
is where you basically cut the horns off, wipe the sauce, and stick it on the plate. It's bloody.
It's like maybe a sear. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Nope, I can't do it.
If you're getting a really nice high-end piece of meat. But see, I won't eat veal. I don't eat veal anymore because it's really fucking mean.
Oh yeah, that's why I won't eat foie gras. And
Foie gras, same thing. Although I have eaten in the past, and you know
I
what?
have veal covered in foie gras.
sick fuck.
Yes.
All right, and
Some
it's
Silence of
served
the
me
Lambs
by a child who also made my clothes.
You wash it down with the
child that
tears
also-
of angels.
A child that also hung out with Michael Jackson. You sick fuck.
What?
Sick fuck.
Can I just point out that you got upset about me using a particular word haphazardly, and you're making fucking pedophile jokes?
I'm complex. I'm not honest. I'm fucking complex.
Jen Saunderson, I have a newfound fear and respect of you.
What if that was her one thing? Was just like,
She just like,
you know, I love pedophile jokes. I can't
I'm
help
just
it.
a regular Tucker Carlson over here. What's the deal? There's no issue. Fuck that
No,
guy.
he's good about kids. He just hates black people and women. He's not.
You didn't hear about that recently? That he came out totally defending that one guy who was having a child, like he was a cult leader.
I'm not surprised by anything relating to Tucker Carlson. He seems like an utter fucking scumbag. But
I got off Twitter, so life is much better.
you completely removed yourself from it. Mm-hmm. Wow, I find that's hard to do because you have to have a little. Your fans want to reach out.
No, I posted. Did I post a video? But other than
just
that,
of your feet, right?
Yes,
of my feet,
definitely. Of her feet
and then I step in mayonnaise and stuff, and then I'm like, ooh, it's so squishy, and then people send me money to my Patreon.
For a woman who professes not to know what a mukbang is or how ASMR is done, you know a lot about niche fetishes. You know that.
Do you know I'm on WikiFeet?
She is on WikiFeet.
I didn't even know WikiFeet existed.
WikiFeet's a thing. It's
you gotta up the
celebrity
game
feet
here.
that get people will rate your feet.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, WikiFeet, and I've got a 4 out of 5 stars on these bad boys.
Wait, hang on a second. Who put your feet on there? You?
Someone.
Or someone else.
Someone else.
Adoring foot fetish
Yeah, I wasn't
fan.
just like
Where do they get
now's my
Where do they
time.
get photos of your feet from?
From Instagram. If I'm at the beach,
It's a high zoom.
it's like a picture of my feet in sand. They'll be like, oh yeah.
Well, now I'm really offended that I'm not on there. Maybe I am on there. I don't even know about
You
it.
might be. Do you want me to check?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah.
Here.
If not, guess what I'm doing tonight? Setting up my WikiFeet
anonymous
account.
source.
All right. So hold on. So we have 10 minutes left. Did we have any Yorkshire pudding facts?
10 minutes left of this podcast.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten into anything
Short.
yet.
This is a short one.
Oh, my
We
God.
got
like
into
we have
a
a
lot
double
more than we've ever gotten into in a podcast.
The last one was all like, how do you like deviled eggs? And lobsters are fun. And this one's like, fucking childhood's ruined and everything is messed up and I don't understand and my family's corrupt. None of that happened, but that's all that could come out of my mouth.
And then Jeff was like, I'm not really into politics anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to give them up. I'm trying to cut back. They're no good for my health.
You got a patch for it. It's nice.
All right, let's see.
Aren't we meant to talk about food or something?
Yes.
Yeah, talk about some food. I'm also looking up if you're on WikiFeet or not.
This reminds me of my my going to my grandparents. Not every week, but every couple of weeks. I think I used to when I was a kid. I was clearly more privileged than I would like to let on. But we used to go horse riding on a Sunday. My parents
I love a good horseback
My parents
ride.
were desperately hoping I would be a flagrant homosexual when I grew up. So I was always into theatre and horse riding and getting dressed up as a girl
not
by
on
my
it,
sister.
sorry.
My sister used to dress me up. But we used to go to horse riding, then we go to my grandparents' house, and my granny would cook us a nice Sunday roast. And it actually was quite a happy time for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then,
and then the war
my parents
happened.
fucking hate each other. Yeah. And so it does remind me, it's a beautiful thing how certain food can take you back to a happy place in your life. An honest time, an innocent time. Or I'm sure if you were fucking raped by your uncle whilst he cooked spaghetti in the fucking in the kitchen, then probably every time you smell marinara sauce, you probably little PTSD fucking
You're the one kid freaking out at Chuck E. Cheese.
Is for.
Yeah.
The mouse will touch me.
No, but I mean it's interesting, isn't it? Like tastes and smells and sounds. I was walking along trail, the hikes up Running Canyon and all that.
Yeah.
I went up with the lady that I'm dating and a couple of her friends, and there'd been what would you laugh at that?
No, just thinking about our conversation about having like makeup sex. I'm like, oh, we're cheating on so many people in the weirdest ways.
I don't think she would mind.
It's not cheating. She said, look, I already know that you and Jen have got this kind of weird sexual tension. You'll probably end up arguing, and it's okay. Whatever happens, it's fine. You get one pass.
Yeah, you just get one masturbate in a corner pass. That's it.
Saddest pass ever.
But so you guys were hiking.
Well, we were hiking, and that someone had obviously done a little horse ride up there, and the smell of horse manure in the air, like dry, it's not like fresh shit, but like
your face in it.
So horse manure. Not only do I not find it like, oh God, it's disgusting. It smells like horse shit. it makes me happy to smell horse manure in the air. And I'm pretty certain anyone who's ever horse rode in their life will say the same thing, because it reminds you of like grooming the horse, taking it out, galloping through fields. It's a fucking really freeing experience.
Oh yeah.
And
I'd one time do you ever do it here in the States?
Actually, I just met a lady who owns like some really thoroughbred racehorse and stuff, and she goes, "Oh, I got a couple that can go out and hags. We should go for a ride in the Hollywood Hills."
Nice.
I don't know if she wants to. I don't think it's a sexual thing. I think she just like.
You know about horse girls.
Horse girls are fucking filthy.
Well, that's the thing is like, so when you're young, as like a young girl, like horses kind of subconsciously, they think represent like this like raw sexuality that as like girls we're not allowed to really express. So you get like these horse girls. I was one of them. I love to draw horses, but it's like that raw like just power sexuality. So she probably didn't want to fuck you.
Also, you bear in mind all the sexy girls now with the tight, leggings, workout leggings that are all like designed to show off the shapely bottoms, which seems to be the only exercise any woman does at my gym ever. It's always butt crunchy, like squats and crunchy. That's all it is. Squats and fucking leg lifts behind. Anyway, that sexiness, I mean, that was the original sexy workout gear was jodhpurs, right? Because they're so tight. They're skin tight.
Oh, yeah.
Cross your buttocks. So I used to see a lot of like, I was a young teen boy seeing all these teen girls walking around in fucking jodhpurs like, yeah.
Just going awkward handing in the stalls.
There you go.
What would you call this?
Why would I be in the stalls? Who am I jerking off? A horse? What the fuck is going on?
You see the lady and you go into the stall.
I just wanted to say
having your own time.
Jen,
shut up, don't look at me.
The beginning of this podcast, we thought I was the deviant that we needed to worry about. Clearly you are.
You could be from Enumclaw, I don't know, which is what happened in Washington. There was a guy who
got fucked by a horse and died, right?
Yeah, it's the basis for that movie Zoo.
Oh, God.
I've seen that video. Anyway. He was like, hey, what could possibly go wrong with me putting this 4-foot penis inside of my intestines?
My intestines.
Oh, wait, there you go.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I get it.
It punctured a hole in my fucking colon. What a surprise.
I can imagine what could happen.
But you know what?
That happened.
He gave it a good go, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was a trier.
He lived his dream.
God loves a trier.
He did what he loved doing best.
Is that in the Bible?
Raping
God
horses.
loves a trier.
Yes, I think it's in Paul chapter 7, verse 6. And he did say unto them, those who trieth the penis of horse shall receiveth the milky goodness within,
and shall join the Creator.
Shall join the Creator by his right hand. He shall not sit, for he shall be sore.
Oh, man.
Tijuana Show 3/12/15.
That's a great way to end this podcast.
Yay! That's the only way to end this.
You know what? I feel like this podcast had so many levels. So it was a roller coaster.
It took us a little while to realize that we were both good people and not trying
I hope
out
you guys
to
do
hurt
realize
each
that
other.
you're both good people.
I felt like you were a good person, but it didn't start good.
Are a good person, Jen. Are a good person.
You were a good person.
I felt like you are.
And then your parents damaged you.
No.
Time to get back to those horses.
Also, look, as an overarching point, I do think that we have to remember that even if you disagree with people on certain stuff, I like to look at people and just go, there's got to be some goodness in everyone you meet. And you have to find that. Finding that empathy, finding that way that you can relate to one another is the most important thing, which is what we've done now over a nice meal. So I'm glad we did that, Jen.
Thank you for this.
That's also how you stay in relationships too long. All right.
By assuming that there's some goodness in there as well.
Something good in them.
Sure, he beats me, but he buys me flowers every now and then. He's a nice guy.
Nice guy. I like that.
Oh, the comments for this
she cut holes in all my clothes and threatened me with a knife, but she's crazy, mad, good and bad, bro.
She's crazy, but like I love it.
Yo, the sex is fucking dope,
head
dude.
like a man.
Dude, she poisoned my dog, but like I didn't really like him that much anyway.
I don't like going
She
on
lets
walks.
me reverse handy myself, bro. She's pretty fucking liberal.
Jeff, where can people find you?
Oh my God, I know. On mukbang forums all over the internet. If people want to find me, I guess they can find me on
WikiFeet now.
JeffreyLeach.com.
No, he's not on WikiFeet.
JeffreyLeach.com has lists of all my gigs. Or just follow me on Instagram at Jeff Leach, Twitter at Jeff Leach, Facebook Jeff Leach.
There's a lot of photos of him.
And actually what I'd really like to do is actually if they like mildly enjoyed my appearance and didn't think I was too much of a scumbag, then I have a podcast called the Savage Snowflake Podcast, which you've been a guest on. And it's a wonderful conversation, as it suggests. We're all snowflakes. We're all a little bit left-leaning, but let's talk about things in a very open fashion. Let's talk about people's lives and without the filter of fear that we're going to be judged for everything we say. So Savage Snowflake, available on all things, including YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, all of those good stuff. That's
Thanks for coming on, Jeff.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
You're lovely, and thank you for bringing us a pot roast.
You better finish my meat now.
I was trying to end on good terms.
Bye, everybody.